Since then, though, Matt, we're out of the gates here, and Happy still on the sim.
Yeah, so you have a double shield look for the Defiant with the Symmetra Doom, and Dante opts to play the May, and they're going to play a Diva here as well. You're going to be able to get the sim so powered up for the Outlaws, though, off of this double shield.
And it's a pretty good start for Houston here, Matt. Overnight, the Seoul Dynasty opted to play a similar defensive setup here on Lijiang Tower, right? We haven't seen a ton of May, and I think it's definitely specific to
obvious where they're going, so be a coalescence as the Outlaws want to get aggressive behind this, as they're getting very close to a blizzard into Symmetra.
Yeah, one of the odd situations that Defiant are dealing with is the fact that they only have the amplification matrix. They don't have a coalescence, so there's not a lot to actually pressure Dreamer. With that Moira ultimate unavailable to the Defiant, they actually have to get... We'll see if it works out, Matt. Here are the Symmetra walls. That's going to be pretty confusing. 2 walls in play right now. Fortunately, Nice's kit is geared toward not caring at all about how those walls work. Meteor Strike, Sound Barrier, good timing for that one, but it's not enough to save Dreamer. There's too many barriers in play to ensure you can catch everybody with that Lucio ultimate. Frustrating for Juvie is that ultimate really doesn't have the intended effect, Matt, but the Outlaws are very far ahead in this round, and they can hold on to some of those ults.
Yeah, and Dreamer actually comes back on the Wrecking Ball. They want to keep trying to just gain the percentage. Dante in an ice block on the point. You'll get up to about above, 90% here.
It's meant for this kind of thing too, so very defensive. Interesting that you have the Moira in this composition. You definitely need to get good value out of the flashbang if possible, and Dante didn't get value out of the Blizzard at all, but Piggy finds the bomb kill on Sato, and that's it. There really is no coming back from this. At the coalescence, the backline is besieged, so the Toronto Defiant are despondent. There might be some stall here, maybe if Wrecking Ball can touch, but it's going to be rough.
Yeah, I mean, Michelle is the closest one. They do a good job of chasing him down. They get him out of his mech, and Sato steps onto the point, gets frozen. This should just be a matter of time for the Outlaws to close it out.
Fancy footwork from Juvie there as he gets his skates on. Here's going to be the Sound Barrier for the Defiant. Lastro also goes for an Air Matrix, but that looks primarily blocked off by the May wall. Here's something. Symmetra Barrier in play. This would where Nice could go more aggressive, but I think he'll just settle for the Outlaws giving up the point.
This will be a Deadeye. Happy in a really tough position. Yeah, he gets boot knocked everywhere.
And that's what the Defiance comp is going to do to you now with the Wrecking Ball. They're looking to go past the Orisa Barrier, not just break it down. Despite that, Matt, you talked about how important Sound Barrier was. Juvie gets one himself, this time unfettered by annoying Symmetra walls to break line of sight. Aspire really doesn't have a look in here at all. He'll be hit there with the Seismic Slam, and that'll be the first round. The Defiant show a little bit of gumption, but really Houston's today. Dante back to the Echo. Again, the McCree's annoying, but there's so many ways of breaking the line of sight with the terrain here that it may not be a huge issue.
This is so defensive from Toronto. Baptiste, the Reaper, the Orisa, and the McCree. This is a composition that wants to just bait the Outlaws in. They get Dreamer right away, which is exactly what they want. There's no mercy pocket for Dante.
You have to respect McCree even with the damage fall off on this map. Here's the dive, Coalescence, Immortality Field has to be used to keep Aspire alive, and the defense matrix gets stuck right in his face by Piggy, who will be desuited. And while all the attention is focused on Aspire, the rest of the fight go to work.
And you see the Baptiste way more impactful now as you want to play really close together, fight on not enough. You're nowhere close to a Sound Barrier here as well for Houston. It's going to be rough.
Dreamer, I mean, he has to be careful. Sound Barrier now, and he gets blown up instantly. 4 people involved in that elimination. You can see just how much of that utility gets aimed at Dreamer. And this is where we have to answer the question that the desk sort of feels like they're
just a very good team. That fight, all they needed was a supercharger to really win it.
Duplicate, Dante. The McCree spurred boots hit the ground. Aspire's already been removed here. Dante with a Deadeye from the duplication. Crimso's already done all the work he had to, and Dante has the focusing beam when he comes out of Duplicate. A lot of cooldowns. You have the McCree cooldowns, and then immediately you have access to all of your Echo abilities when you come out. It's pretty scary. So that is absolutely insane. Okay, Wraithwalk has to be used early by Nice, but Happy gets caught, flash, and halted in place. Nothing you can do if you're McCree. Still, the Sound Barrier gives the Outlaws a bit of impetus. The Outlaws are looking for a way to even up the player count here, but they've just not been able to do that at all. In fact, they lose Dreamer, so it's a bit of a bluff, that aggression, and nothing more. Juvie, desperation, trying to find something, but the Defiant are just going to move back in here.
Toronto's just so healthy. When the Outlaws try and push in, just the Baptiste healing with that Amp Matrix looks like Dreamer went to go touch the point. Yeah. He gets booped away. by Sunjin.
Deal with this durability with Orisa at the front.
He may have a bit more luck, though. The Echo can put so much pressure from the side, but Michelle does a nice job tracking Dante, taking him out early. You know the Echo is such a large source of the damage.
Aspire is able to dance that shield, and there's nothing Dreamer can really do to pressure. That's the dangerous part here about dealing with the Defiant, Matthew. Not only in longer fights is Lastra getting a lot more ultimate percentage.
Charger and the aggression coming in for Toronto straight away.
Nice, burns the Wraith Walk immediately. Has to use his medial strike there, otherwise he definitely dies to Echo. Happy doesn't have Wraith Walk, and he knows that he's trying to go for the kill on the Reaper, but we can't get it. Happy takes him down. And the supercharge having been removed prior means the Outlaws finally have a chance to get back, but Matt, these last 2 rounds have been the opposite story of the first. It's been the Outlaws having to claw back from a deficit here, and how long can they hold on to the point?
Is that Bistro is stuck in the choke, and he's going to use an Amp Matrix backed by his spawn. This is such a weird positioning. One fight, nice select and, with a Death Blossom. And you see the effect that this Reaper has just so much more consistent the damage output than the Doomfist.
The Outlaws, though, still going to go with the Doomfist from Happy. Dream is able to catch Ansunjay by the ankle as he tries to escape, but it's not really going to be enough. Aspire falls to Juby, though, but it's just the Lucio for the Outlaws. Crimzo, Walter's on up with the Coalescence here, but knows he's still fallible in that form. He can still be eliminated, so he needs to be careful. Nice, just waits for Crimzo to come around the corner at him, and as he just deserts, this self-destruct will really only buy a little bit of time. There's hardly any presence on the point. Dante has to sneak on in there, and the Outlaws, stubborn, refusing to play that shield setup. And it might come back to bite them here. That will be map number 1 in Toronto.
Played Rialto. I think Aspire is definitely aware of it. It'll be an Amp Matrix towards the front of the fight, as it's actually nice coming behind 2 players. It'll be nice finishing off one. Michelle is able to grab the other. But when they notice that flank is coming around, they just push everybody else on through. They don't really kind of care for Happy, Dante, and Jake going on this huge flank to try and put down some of that damage. And they know they have a huge damage advantage. Oh, Dante's going to get out with his life, barely. But they know they have a huge damage advantage when they have their...
from over the top right now and not really being pressured. He dropped down there for a moment. He got flashed as he hit the ground, and Aspire with a very safe, very passive position. It's ill-advised for Happy to challenge this, as the headshot will still be pretty punishing, but he fancies a bit of a duel here. He's on Widow duty right now.
A big Rabbinic Flux, though, there from Piggy, finishing off players underneath. But yeah, I mean, you see that Aspire's going up against. Even when he kills Happy, the pocket from Jake is just so strong.
And all of them getting blown over by the Outlaws right now. They are here to play, and Aspire tried to flank, but Happy wasn't born yesterday.
Yeah, he's above Happy. Happy actually turns with a flashbang and then takes him out with a damage boost. So really nice play there from Happy. You see how much pressure these tanks for Toronto are under. They can't even get towards the payload. They're just so weak. They're just trying to stay alive, getting shot from all these off angles. The payload will get over the line. Toronto will end up winning the fight in the long run, but doesn't really matter.
I don't think you're over the moon about that result. I get it.
It's a decent spot to hold. I mean, just let them burn some ultimates, right?
Oh my, that is nuts. What a crucial kill. Happy, this is a keyhole shot. Doesn't find it. Maybe an Amp Matrix in play there. Either way, Happy shuts down the Gravitic Flux. I think there were 4 people trying to go to work there on Michelle. Eventually he gets brought down, which means that the Outlaws don't get brought down. Sato goes gold. He'll get taken down. Back to the showers for another 2-liter Coca-Cola. And this will be the Outlaws to push up now. 3 minutes left in the round.
Supercharger there. I believe they ended up using their Gravitic Flux really early on. You didn't burn any of the support ultimates. They stacked them here, though, and you have a Dragon, but you're not even looked like it's going to be able to make it out of spawn, really make anything happen. This will be nice with a copy onto the Mercy, and that didn't really do anything. So the Outlaws just walk the cart.
That's what the Outlaws are trying to make use of presently. That's a good spot for a Spider to be, though. Happy again, you better believe. Oh my god, second to the party. Last one to leave, though. Aspire, Storm Arrow, okay, just spews arrows in Happy's direction. And obviously with Mercy there, Nice gets resurrected, so maybe not so worth, especially if Jake gets sticky, gets the goo from Nice. Aspire still in that flanking position, so this card will get shepherded forward, and Crimzo didn't have a chance there with the Sonic Arrow.
Yeah, a few ultimates, though, for the Outlaws to use to bounce back. Nice shot there from Aspire.
Yeah,
that 30-day siding.
That temporary contract about to get a bit of extendo-matic, you know what I'm saying? All right, well, The Spire burnt down there by Dante. He's finally able to find that Hangzhou and get rid of that constant pressure from above. Nice. Accretion copy. Oh, there's going to be a lot of fluxes. Oh my god, what goes up must come down before going up and then coming down once more, apparently. Nice is able to find 2 kills with that one. The Outlaws feel like they're in a front-loaded washing machine. Lastro taken down by Happy though, and with Jungu back in the fight, even 2 fluxes. Well, let's just say the Outlaws don't give none.
That time Happy goes around on his own.
You have to deal with this. Bit of a Batman plays. You descend, throw down the Ant Matrix. Crimson loses his immortality field, but it bought enough time for the Outlaws to get away from the purview of Lastro. Oh, that's huge. Happy finds Ansunjae. That is a gigantic kill, and he is yet again on another flank, showing that he can do it just a little better. Where's Nice, though, I wonder? Oh, we'll look for the skulls instead. No C9 potential here for the Outlaws. They have Jangu comfortably sat on the cart. And Nice is going to use that free health to try and chase the Orisa down. It looks like Jangu is the better cow. And no Lucio, Matt, for the Outlaws on attack.
No, they'll end up playing the Mercy. So when you're going to commit to the double shield with the Sigma Orisa, you don't need the speed. It is kind of telling, though. I think you do want to potentially play the Lucio at some point, because otherwise you would have just left Jake in, right? Like if you were going to play like Mercy or maybe like Rig, like a slower type of composition, you would have shoot the game. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, Immortality Field has to be used. It's removed. Oh, it got removed too early. Michelle goes down. Happy only finding the 1 kill with the Dragon Strike, but Sigma's quite a big pelt to throw over your shoulder and carry back to the lodge, if I do say so. Dante's going to have a duplication, but he may not need it here. The sticky bombs are going to lay Lastro awful low. And Dante duplicates the Sigma now. A big target to get in the way of Aspire and make it hard for him to influence the fight on this Ashe. Dante will push as far as he has to now. Gravitic Flux connection, that's a dead Lastro. He won't be healed up quickly enough, and 5 minutes and 2 is left on the clock. To say that that was quick is going to be a little bit of an unshot because you're playing Hangzhou. I believe that's how the song goes. Nice! In the drink! Excuse me! That ain't it, champ! What do you need a nice part for?
That's a sideshow special of the day.
And the fact that you can say that deadpan means you've seen some stuff, Matt.
Look, I've seen it all. When you play at our rank, you have seen everything. Aspire that Echo has, and he just hits the ground. Quite unfortunate, though. Quite unfortunate.
Imagine giving yourself concrete booties, Matt.
That is a huge gravitic flux, but I don't think it matters.
Okay. So this is a tilter, as they say. The
This is one for the ages.
The Defiant decided he deals with that pretty early on. Zato was quite low, but Lastro uses a regenerative burst.
Dante in there, though, with a duplicate. I mean, okay. If he gets that gravitic flux off, that would have been massive. But
the supercharger Amp Matrix.
They've used everything. They've literally popped everything. Amp Matrix, Valkyrie, double supercharger. All you got left here is a gravitic flux.
Nice is not happy, Jan. Not happy, Jan! Crimzo picks him off there as Ansunjae was elsewhere. Still, 1 tick on the point right now for the Defiant. They move on in. Lastro gets rid of his opposite number across the map, and that's no Batiste for the Outlaws. This is a probing gravitic flux. Immortality Field is taken down, and Jungle gets the pile drive, Matt. I mean, this is looking like an ill-fated wrestling match.
You couldn't get more unlucky. He uses the... I thought Michelle was going to actually use the gravitic flux, but Peggy uses his, and Sato gets taken out right away. But the ball comes in, makes a huge impact. Sato now switches over to the Wrecking Ball. He may not even get a use out of Michelle's gravitic flux, which is kind of quite sad, as Sato can't get anywhere near the point.
Good start for the Outlaws. They get that initial vantage point and then make the dive. Dreamer, though, pulls up a little bit short of his intended target. He's intercepted by Nice and Co. But Zato's also taken down. Arguably, that hits the Defiant harder. They still have a shield to work with, but Michelle's playing the low ground here, and the rest of the Defiant have to drop down to join him, ceding that advantageous high ground position that Piggy now looks to make use of. And in doing so, he gets around behind Michelle's shield, and that's an Outlaws point take, Matt. They have the card.
Yes, Piggy controls the high ground there, doesn't let Nice or Aspire get set up on it. And then Michelle just can't push in. He can't just run.
The enemy main tank. Again, so Sato feeling like Hardy right now. Definitely getting ignored in the middle of the pack. everyone going around him, and Juby's going to make it even harder for Sato to get back and defend his team. This is one of the key weaknesses of Orisa. On maps like this, you just go straight over, or through, or around. Whichever way you go, Circuitous is the name of the game. And the Outlaws do just that. Dante with 4 kills in the previous fight. A big duplication. Oh, Aspire was dead before Dante even got there. He just confirms, gives him a chalk outline, and gets on with the job. Nice to be able to win out on the flank there, and it looks like the resurrect was not possible. Too risky for Juby.
So not able to push that far up and get that res. Last show on the flank, on the side, gets 2. Now Aspire with the back with the res, he'll get 1. So Toronto stabilizes a little bit here on defense. They go back now, and they'll play the Sigma. So the Sigma's probably in a response to a Halt comes in. They kite it out. Dragon comes through, though, and Dante's able to take out nice.
The Dragon, I just think, prevents the Defiant from chasing the Outlaws inside that small room. I think it's important to give them that space, but this res won't be enough. It'll be far too late for that, because Nice is absolutely crushing.
Yes, they bring him back, and he's able to do a lot of work, so...
Supercharger on the way. Here's that air matrix, Matt. You see Sato tries to push ahead of it straight away. Does not want to get caught inside the zone of amplification. He wraps around the left-hand side, as does Nice. Both of them caught in the gravitic flux, and this will be the end of that duplication for Nice. So he doesn't get a flux. Dante, obviously, copies Sigma himself. He'll have a flux, though, and that should be it. Not really much to be done here. Nice needs to be shut down, but not before he gets Juby. Still, the card gets home. 2 minutes 13 on the clock. And again, 2 Sigmas always better than 1.
They try to use the M-Matrix to give themselves enough damage, because you're not getting damage from the side. You can't just walk into it. They're going to rely on the duplicate here from Nice, as he goes right in on the flank. Just goes right into the heart of the Outlaws team. Duplicates. Doesn't matter, because Piggy ends up using his gravitic flux. Dante uses a duplicate of his own. And it's not enough to get anywhere close to making a play for the point.
I mean, Dante's having...
trying to get towards the point. So Happy will send his Bob in. This will be enough to contest.
Aspire more like Perspire. Dante flattens him. Nicely done there with the sticky bombs. Sato going to get dropped as well, and that gravitic flux seals the deal. 35 seconds left. Aspire knew Dante was coming, and he still couldn't do anything about it. That is what I mean when I say how dangerous Dante is at Echo.
Well, it's such a difficult position to play from, because the Bob goes on and contests. You know that the Outlaws are going to follow the Bob up. And
some reward. Michelle steps up here, and it's an air matrix from a weird angle. This is going to be really hard for the Defiant to deal with now. Again, Dante springs forward. There's a duplicate available. All he needs is a target. And he may not even have to bother with it. Nice now there, forced to go for pretty speculative focusing beams. Can't find any purchase, and the Defiant slip off the...